Ben, does that top what happened at the World Cup?
It's certainly close. Walking off there at the end when, the whole of Headingley was, standing up and celebrating. It was a very special moment and something I had to try and take in, I think, because moments like that don't come along very often. And it was just an amazing game to be a part of, to be there at the end and still keep our Ashes hopes alive. It was a pretty special feeling coming off at the end, yeah.
What's going through your mind when the number 11's cleaning the steam off his glasses?
He might get a sponsorship deal out of that, to be honest.
Talk about Jack. Talk about Jack's contribution.
I think when a number 11 comes in, needing 70 to win it, I knew where the game. Well, I knew what I had to do in terms of the game situation and what I had to do. The only time I really started getting a little bit nervous or panicking, would say, is when we got into single figures. But those will be the most important balls that Jack Leach has ever faced, will ever face in his Test career. The best one he's ever got in his career. It takes two to tango in the situations like that. And for a number 11 to come out under that kind of pressure and to deliver when he needed to deliver was fantastic for him to be able to do that. And a lot of credit has to go to him as well for us being able to cross the line there at the end.
And what did you actually in the innings find harder, sort of flipping the guys into the stands for 6 every 5 minutes, or the 2 from 50 balls last night?
It's probably I think when Nathan Lyon came on, when we needed 8 to win, was a very, very good piece of captaincy from Tim Paine, to be fair. Obviously, everybody was out on the boundary. It was a pitch that was very helpful for spin bowling. Obviously, I was trying to attack the first half of the over, every over when Jack came in. So I thought it was a good ploy from him. I would much rather have been facing one of the seam bowlers than Nathan Lyon at that point. And I wasn't quite sure whether to keep on going like I was, or to try and win it in ones and twos. But I thought, well, I've got us to this point from playing a certain way, so I'm just going to keep on going. But I had to make sure that I picked the right ball. I made sure I committed to what I did. I got my pitching wedge distance quite good today on a few occasions, especially on that last one that I just managed to go over the head. But I thought, credit to Tim Paine for having the courage to bring on, an off spinner at that stage in the game.
Afterwards, Michael Vaughan said that was the greatest Test match innings of all time. With all the pressure of what was at stake and the Ashes on the line and the huge hitting and the deafening atmosphere, is that the innings that you're most proud of in your life?
I think in terms of where we were at, in terms of this Ashes series, I'm obviously over the moon that we've managed to stay in the series. If we lost this game, then the Ashes were gone. So to be sat here, especially after getting bowled out for 67, to still be in with a chance of getting the urn back is an amazing feeling. And walking off there at the end was just a time to take everything in and realise what we had just done as a team, not just as an individual. I think bouncing back from getting bowled out for 67 to then having to chase down 300 and I can't remember what it was, whatever it was, was brilliant. But at the same time, we've got a few days off here before the next Test starts. So, when we turn up to Manchester, we've got to put everything behind us, what we've just managed to achieve, and start again in Manchester. Because this will all be forgotten if we lose the next Test match, because then the Ashes are gone.
Ben, what was going through your mind when the Aussies had that huge LBW shout right at the end? I think it was on Jack Leach. They obviously burned their reviews, but what was going through your mind then?
I knew it wasn't out against Jack Leach. I've seen the DRS on my big LBW shout, which obviously shows up 3 reds. But DRS, I think, has got that completely wrong, because it flicked my front pad first. Didn't spin, but somehow it's got it hitting the stumps. But that obviously shows how crucial that making sure you use your reviews is actually worth doing it. When you get to a situation like that, and you still need one, obviously if they had a review left, they would have used it and they would have ended up winning. But after looking back at the footage in terms of the DRS, I still can't believe it was 3 reds. I thought as soon as it hit me, it was sliding down leg because there was no spin.
I was just going to ask about the kind of other hairy moment near the end when Lyon kind of failed to gather the ball. I mean, you were at the far end kind of swishing about it, almost like you thought it was over.
I think Jack Leach must have somehow been watching Monty Panesar in Cardiff. I could not believe when I got up and looked that me and literally could have had a conversation. He was that close to me. And he said he thought I was coming down, like I thought I started running. I was, mate, no, I was nowhere near running. But that was huge panic stations there because obviously he was so far out. But as we've seen, that pressure situations in games can really affect what a human does. I think 9 times out of 10, Nathan Lyon would be able to pick that ball up, take it, and take the stumps off and Australia win. But you know, you've got to take into account the pressure that he is under there to take the ball cleanly and take the stumps off. You know, we've seen a few moments in the World Cup with Jason Roy where, you know, he fumbled the ball. 9 times out of 10, he's picking that up and throwing the ball straight over the stumps and taking the bails off. I think that's what a few people don't really understand. That, you know, they'll say, I can't believe he hasn't picked that up. But you've got to understand that the pressure that players are under, and especially in such crucial moments, you know, playing at the highest level and what is on the line. So, you know, pressure makes, you know, human beings especially, you know, not be able to do things that they normally would be able to do, you know, with their eyes closed.